All right, we got a very special guest coming up next right now. There's a lot of things going on. There's a huge shortage of referees and umpires in the state of Tennessee and across the country, because why do that when you're getting yelled at by moms and dads and state representatives? Let's bring in our special guest right now to talk more about this as we get going on the show today with this. Chris, how do you properly say your last name?
It's Vetetoe.
Vetetoe. There you go. Welcome in, Chris. Thanks for doing this.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
All right, so we've seen the video of the state rep and everything. Look, you're a travel ball parent. You're a coach. When this happened, you're one of the first people I thought about, because you have spent so much of your life at the ballpark. And what we see with the state representative, we'll play the video here in just a moment, but you see this all the time, Chris. Is this ever going to stop where the moms and dads are just getting after the refs?
I don't know, Joe. I mean, I think it's a societal issue, if you want to be honest about it. I don't think it's just a sports issue. I think it's become the norm in society to question authority. So, and I think a lot of times these parents are so invested into their kids and to the success of their kids, and their kids are going to be the next great player, whatever sport they're playing. And, at the end of the day, these officials are just part-time officials for the most part. This is their part-time job. They do it because they love it, just like a coach coaches a youth sport because he loves it. So do the officials. So I don't know. I think it's a societal issue. I think there's also have got to be more strict rules in place and punishment in place for parents to get out of line.
You coach this stuff, and you see a call that it goes bad. I mean, your reaction. I mean, I've known you're a smart guy. I mean, it's just part of the game. You move on and go forward. But now, I mean, these people, Chris, have lost their minds, and I'm sure you've seen it so much in the last couple of years too.
So. Yeah, in my background, I've coached youth sports, high school sports. I've coached different levels, been coaching for over 30 years. I think it also goes back to the expectations that are set by the coaches and the programs, whether it's a high school program, whether it's a youth program, making sure the parents understand what is the ethics and the culture of the program. I used to even have a code of conduct as a youth coach that my parents would have to sign that was outside of what the league's rules were, right, so that they understood this is our culture on this team, and we can be intense about it, and you can be competitive. Hey, and coaches and refs, they're going to go back and forth. And as long as you keep it within the boundaries, it's all in the game. But, honestly, if you can put those policies in place and have a zero tolerance with it, and there's a lot of things that could be done, but it comes down to a lot of times not only the program, but the individual coach that runs the program.
Yeah, and we see it in so many ways. All right, intern's going to play this video from the state rep Jeremy Faison last week up in East Tennessee, the basketball game, where he came out of the stands and tried to do what they call pants the ref, pull the ref's pants down. Yeah. Intern, you want to play this? And then here he comes. I mean, who does that? That's terrible.
I mean, that's like the college kid running down the hallway trying to do something to his friend in the dorm. It's just, I don't know, it blows my mind. I mean, I will say the guy's come out and apologized, wants to apologize to the ref. He's owned it, but still, I don't know, Joe. I've seen a lot of parents getting the ref's face. I've seen yelling, I've seen shouting, but trying to pull down somebody's pants is over the top.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm the ref and trying to pull my pants down, we're in the parking lot fighting, probably fighting in the gym right there. Chris, let me ask you this. I mean, your son is a great athlete, and I saw you at Davidson Academy, a lot of things. What do you tell your son when there's something goes wrong with the ref on the field? What do you tell him to do?
Deal with it and move on. I mean, it's nobody's perfect. He's not perfect in the game. They're not perfect in the game, and it also depends on the role of the player of the team. If that player is a captain and they're allowed to talk to refs, they're allowed to get an understanding of why the ref made the call. Generally, what you try to encourage your kids to do, and when we were at Davidson, we try to teach leadership with our kids, and so how to handle the adversity, how to handle the problems, how to talk to your teammates. how to get your teammates back in line. It's different for every player. Not every player is that type of leadership, has that type of leadership skill. But as coaches, that's what we try to do. And coaches, we have a part. It's how you talk to your players, how you treat your players, and that kind of culture bleeds over to how they're going to treat the refs and their own teammates. And I see it in different places. You can see the programs out there that don't have control of their own team or their own players and that kind of culture, because you'll see the way they question that authority on the field.
And then, probably comes all the time from the parents down. Have you ever had an incident where you had to control the parent from when you're coaching their kids, when a parent is getting on the ref? Have you had a moment where you had to say, look, calm down?
No, yeah, I've literally had to walk off the sideline as a youth football coach and go over and tell a parent to leave the facility. And I even told him point blank was, if you can't stop, your son will not be allowed to play on the team. And it's not what it's about. And if a sport, Joe, you know me, I'm as competitive as anybody. I'm intense. I love to win. But there are boundaries. It's bigger than the game.
Exactly. And so you see why there's this critical shortage of referees and umpires. Even last year, I talked to you over at DCA, and they're playing Davis Academy in baseball. And before that, a week earlier, they couldn't get refs to come to a middle school game because there's no refs out there. I mean, is this going to end at any time, or is this going to be more and more of a problem for these kids? Who it's hurting are the kids, because the refs don't want to deal with the parents.
Here's the thing, though, Joe. Most people don't realize that a lot of these refs that referee high school football or high school basketball or baseball, they also do youth sports as well. And so a National Officiating Association, one of their stats is 70% of their refs quit before their third year is over. So I mean, it's a societal issue, Joe. It's not just a sports issue. But once again, I think it goes back to how do the individual leagues, how do the individual coaches, how do they set the boundaries and the rules to set the expectations of the parents? If it can't be just a governing body, it's got to go down to the people that have the relationships with the parents.
That's a great point. Chris, as always, I know you got a busy day, man. Thank you for your kind of your insight in this, because you spent a lot of time on these fields in the last couple of years, man. Thank you, buddy. Have a good day.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Good show.
All right, thank you. Just the topic is we could talk all day on this. It's got to stop at some point.